How you doing? How you looking at it this year? A year that includes not just a big year for the Sounders, but also maybe the Copa America. And do you think you can fight your way into that?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, an exciting year for club and country, and for me first with the Sounders. It's exciting. It's always exciting to start a new season. Obviously, for us losing a big part of the club like Nico, it'll be a big adjustment for the group. He was obviously so important to this club as on and off the field, an incredible player, leader, person. So it'll be an adjustment. Obviously adjusting to that, but we have a really solid core there still, and our goal is to always fight for trophies, and that's the same. Coming into this year, we're really confident that we can do that. So we were disappointed with how last year ended, and so we want to right that and try to fight to get back to winning trophies, winning MLS Cup. In terms of the national team, yeah, big year ahead. For me, my goal will always be to be a part of that group. I understand the talent and the quality that's in the pool. But for me, my goal is to continue to grow and get better, and try to work my way back into that group with a lot of big competitions coming up. So that's always a goal of mine.
So we're going to go to Fabian in the front row.
Fabian Renkel from SBI Soccer. Jordan, I want to ask you a little bit about maybe ushering some newer players into this new era of Seattle Sounders soccer. Being a veteran player now, or having so many years under your belt, what are you kind of telling the new guys that are coming into Seattle, especially some that are rumored to be coming with a lot of hype,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember coming in as a young player to the group, and yeah, it's crazy how fast it switches to you becoming the veteran. But for me, I know how helpful it was when the veterans would come up and kind of, take me under their wing a little bit, give me advice, give me confidence when I was out on the field, especially for some of the, the younger guys that really broke out this last year. I think that was super helpful for them to have the core group of veteran guys really be supportive. And it's a great group in Seattle that we have. The locker room there is really special. I think that's contributed to a lot of our success. And so for the young guys coming through, I think they have that support system. When they step on the field, they know they have the support of their teammates, and I think that helps them come on and do a really good job. But we have a lot of really good young players. You saw with Josh Atencio coming through, Jackson Reagan, Reed, having a really good year last year. Obed, Danny Leva. We have a lot of really good young players, more that I didn't mention, and it's really exciting to see. And a lot of them had really good years last year, and it's going to make for good battles on the field this year. But I think the support that they have from the veterans, I know how important that was for me, and we just, as veterans, have to give that to them to keep helping them grow and improve.
We're going to go Alonso to the right, and then Steve to the left here.
Hi, Jordan. It's Alonso from Harris Pro Network. It's not a secret. Seattle always fighting to win trophies. It's one of the best clubs in the league. But since 2020, haven't reached MLS final. For Seattle fans and supporters, it's a long time.
Yeah.
So what do you think Seattle Sounders needs to do to improve that and reach the final for this 2024 season?
Yeah, I like that. Only a couple years seems like a long time for our fans. That's a good. And for us as well, it's a good problem to have. It means we've been successful in the past, and that's just the standard that we hold ourselves to, is that we want to try to win trophies every year and make it to MLS Cup and win MLS Cup. I think for us last year, where it broke down a little bit, obviously we were really solid defensively. The whole group put in a lot of work in that area of the game, and I thought a lot of our build-up play was really good, but maybe the final product wasn't quite there, and we didn't score as many goals as a team as we needed to end up in MLS Cup and try to fight for that. So I think that's a big part of what we're going to focus on this offseason is I think a lot of our play was really good. It's just kind of those final third moments and scoring some more goals as a team, I think, is something that's really important. And for me as a forward, a striker, that a lot of that falls on me, and I just want to continue to try to get better and put myself in good positions to score goals and help the team. But as a group, I think that's a big focus of ours.
We're going to go to Steve in the front left here, and then Kyle.
Hey, Jordan. Steve Goff from the Washington Post. You've been involved in soccer from the youth level, college, obviously the pros and national team. You understand the landscape out there. MLS has pulled out of Open Cup to a certain degree. I was wondering what your thoughts are on that as a player who's an American player, and the importance of the Open Cup, and just your take on the situation.
Yeah, Yeah, I haven't thought about it, a ton, but I think it's I think it's disappointing. I think as players, we want to play in that tournament. It's such a historic tournament in the U.S., and I think it's a great opportunity for young guys to get games in those earlier rounds, and it's a great opportunity for clubs and teams in the lower divisions to get to challenge themselves and play against teams in MLS and maybe showcase themselves to move up to the next level. So yeah, I think it's tough. It's I don't know all the details behind why we pulled out, the MLS pulled out of it, but for me and for someone that's grown up with the Open Cup, and the Sounders obviously had a lot of success in it in their early days, and I think it's definitely disappointing for some a lot of players not to be able to play in that. So again, I don't necessarily know all the details behind it, but I think it's a lot of players are going to miss playing in it.
I'm going to go to Kyle on the right here, and then the front row to the left.
Kyle Boniger with ESPN. This is kind of getting ahead of this season even, but the Club World Cup is coming to the U.S. next year. You guys have qualified for that.
Yeah.
Have you already started having conversations about what that format will look like? It's obviously another competition in the middle of a long season,
Sure.
and how that factors into to planning.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the guys are really excited that we've already qualified for that. It's something to look forward to. Don't necessarily know the format or anything like that yet. But we're it's cool that it's going to be in the U.S. And I mean, I don't know if there's a chance to have a game in Seattle, but like hosting a game in front of our fans would be incredible. But to even just have those games in the U.S. to showcase soccer in this country with a ton of those big teams from Europe obviously coming over and playing, it will be an amazing opportunity. And for us, we want to kind of right the ship of what happened last year where we went in and lost the first game. I think left a sour taste in a lot of our mouths. We wanted to make a run in that tournament, obviously, and would have had the chance to play Madrid in the next game. We wanted that opportunity, and I think a lot of guys are excited to try to get back into that tournament and make a run. But it's really a huge honor to be the MLS team right now that's representing MLS. Potentially there'll be another one or two in the coming years to qualify. But for us, yeah, we take that as a huge honor and a privilege, and we want to go out and showcase ourselves with some of the best teams in the world.
We have time for one more question in the room. We're going to go to the front left.
Hi, Jordan. How you doing? Fernando Fiore from Inter Miami and Fubo. Talking about a player that was born right after the World Cup, 1994, in the U.S. Now and then the whole career, and your family is a soccer family, and you being in every single level, playing abroad and come back. How do you experience this time? Because for many of us, it since the day that I announced that the World Cup will coming back to the U.S., look,
Yeah.
I'm saying that,
Sure.
and I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
For you personally, your personal feeling, forget about the football player,
Yeah.
that the World Cup is coming to your country, the Club World Cup,
Yeah.
the Copa America is coming.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Incredible. I mean, it's such, I know it's been said a lot. It's such an exciting time for soccer in this country. It's growing so much. Obviously, the league is growing so much, even since I've come in the last, obviously the last 8 years, but obviously the last couple of years, the league is growing so much. The quality of the league is growing so much. With Messi coming, obviously that makes a huge difference in terms of visibility, and Apple has done a great job with that. But to have all these amazing tournaments coming, and then especially the World Cup, the biggest sporting event in the world being played in the U.S. is incredible. So especially for me as a kid growing up in Seattle, to know that my hometown city is going to host World Cup games, and just brings a lot of pride to know that that this sport is growing so much in this country, and it's becoming it's becoming so big, and all these events in the next few years are just going to continue to help it grow. So yeah, as a kid growing up, a young American kid, a young kid from Seattle, dreaming of playing in a World Cup someday, to have that on home soil in my hometown is going to be incredibly special.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, Jordan. We appreciate it.